Why is Sam pulling out?
Did I just screw my whole diet up? Am I gonna have to pull out of the Arnold?
Rather than lying, I think you should just be honest. I think you should be accurate and just be like, look, this sucks, but I chose this. I'm a bodybuilder. This is about the life of a bodybuilder. Coach Greg, and yet again, Sam Sulek is on a crazy, redonkulous cheat. This time it's 5,162 calories. Talk about being exact.
So just to jump straight down to 226 like that, that's given me the low terrain pull up signal.
Why is Sam pulling out? No, he's not pulling out of the Arnold's. He's pulling out of his diet. The reason is, well, he was 230, 229, 228, which is what he would expect for 5 weeks out. But suddenly he was 226. Now, on any given day, you could be lighter from dehydration and so on. But 2 days in a row, that is not just a fluke. That is a trend. And remember, he only has to weigh 228 pounds at the competition. And so seeing as there's still close to 5 weeks left, that is very, very light, and so he doesn't want to lose too much muscle. And so because of that, he's increasing the calories in his diet. Now, what have I been saying to you in almost any of my diet videos? You weigh yourself every day of the week, at least 5, you take the middle number. You cross out the highs and the lows, and that is your average weight. If the weight is going down too quickly, you increase the calories. If the weight isn't going down quickly enough, you lower the calories. That or increase or decrease cardio. And so Sam is simply going by the median weight or the weekly weight and so on, and has decided that he is going to up the calories. Why? Because he's getting leaner too quickly. Now, if Sam had a coach, for example, myself, I wouldn't be letting him diet so strictly. 2,500 calories for a man, 230 pounds with that much muscle doing cardio, it's too low. And where is the evidence that it's too low? Well, the fact that he now has to up the calories to over 5,000, which is double the calories he's consuming on any given Sunday. And as I record this, it's Super Bowl Sunday. What he should be doing, rather than starving himself every day of the week and then having crazy cheats to make up for it, is upping his calories to perhaps 3,000. That would allow him to continuously lose weight slower than last time, but it wouldn't have to have these crazy cheats. He would have more energy, he would end up with more muscle come showtime, and that is the proper way to diet. Now, you could say I'm not teaching you anything from this, but what have you learned? Don't over diet. If you're losing weight too quickly, it means there's too low amount of calories in your diet and you should up the calories.
This is actually the best case scenario I could think of for this prep, is the fact that I'm ahead of schedule and I've got room for some refeeds.
This is not the best case scenario. The best case scenario is he's actually 228 pounds and he's eating 3,000 plus calories. Or even better, a better best case scenario is he's 230 plus pounds, that he's building muscle as he's getting leaner. Yes, that in fact can happen. You can build muscle and lose fat at the same time. That is best case. When you're losing weight too quickly, you might be thinking, this is the best case scenario. I'm ahead of schedule. I'm getting leaner faster than last time. This is amazing. It's not amazing because when you get lean too quickly, you are in fact going to lose muscle. And if you try to maintain, for example, 5% body fat too long, your body is going to experience more cortisol. You're going to have a difficult time having the energy to train as hard, and you're not going to retain as much muscle as if you dieted effectively, losing at most 1% of your body fat each and every week. Now remember, the leaner you get, for example, when you're single-digit body fat, you shouldn't be losing more than 0.5% body fat each and every week, because that calorie deficit, for example, 1,000 calories deficit each and every day, that would allow you to lose 2 pounds of fat in a week. But that is a crazy low deficit. To be in 1,000 calorie deficit each day, that is a lot. Trust me, you're not going to want to do this. And so Sam, he knows this. Perhaps for next time he'll do it effectively. He needs to eat more calories.
But it wasn't 5,200 calories of just like straight junk. Really, I just ate a lot of the foods that I'm already eating. But you know what? That's what Coach told me to do, so that's what I'm going to go ahead and make happen. Coach being me.
And so his coach told him to do this. Obviously, no, he's coaching himself. And he added in some yogurt, some steaks, some tacos. He's basically just eating anything. There's technically nothing wrong with that, but consider that it's way better when you're dieting to add in more calories each and every day than only once a week or perhaps once every 2 weeks to have a giant cheat. Some of you perhaps don't realize this. You're thinking, no, I'd rather eat 6,000 calories, 5,000 calories once a week and have 2,500 on the rest. Why wouldn't you rather divide out those extra calories? For example, he had about 2,700 calories, give or take. Why not have it over 2 days? 1,300 calories on one day, having a cheat, and 1,300 calories the next. When in doubt, spread it out. You don't need to eat that much in a single meal. It's better to have it spread out over the course of, for example, a week.
Guess what weight I woke up this morning? So 5,200 calories.
Well, he probably weighed up roughly the amount that he wants to be. So around 528, perhaps even 529.
I basically ate 2 days worth of food for me. So shit. Did I just screw my whole diet up? Am I screwed? Am I gonna have to pull out of the Arnold?
Now, obviously, he's not gonna have to pull out. He added in about 2,700 calories. That is about 3/4 of a pound of fat, maximum, that he could possibly be gaining. It is not a lot. And remember, your glycogen stores are gonna first refill. And so all those extra calories aren't magically turning to fat. Your glycogen stores are going to be full first before it's eventually going to turn to body fat. And so all that's happening is essentially he's refeeding his body. The glycogen stores are filling up. He's going to have more of a pump. He's going to feel more full, and he's going to have a better workout than last time. But imagine if he had spread that out. Those 500 calories added each and every day, 125 grams of carbs added to each and every meal. Imagine if he did that before his workout. Like, really think about it. An hour, perhaps 2 hours before every workout of the week, he adds in 125 grams of carbs. That's a lot. What is that, 5 bananas? And so he would then go to the gym every day and think, wow, look at the pump. Look at the vascularity. I'm feeling amazing. And so for my clients, I would typically say, hey, why not add in a bag of popcorn, perhaps 2 bags of popcorn before you go to the gym? It's gonna be about 500 calories. Imagine how much better you would feel. The pump, the strength, the vascularity, the mental strength that you would have knowing you can eat all that food before you go to the gym every day. You're gonna wanna go to the gym that much more. In comparison, you're running on fumes. There's no carbs left in his body. He's probably running on ketones for all we know. And so you don't have the same level of oomph when you go to the gym, but if you have those carbs, 125 extra grams each and every day, you're gonna train that much better.
It's a very nuanced kind of case-by-case sort of thing to give yourself a refeed. And I think about it the same way as a rest day. Don't do it just because. Actually have a legitimate reason behind it and a plan to implement it into your training.
And so I have to agree with Sam. He says, don't take a rest day unless you need it. In the same way, don't have a refeed day unless you need it. Some coaches, they literally plan this out. You're gonna have a cheat day every Saturday. Why? What if I don't need it? What if I feel great? What if I'm losing effectively? I'm exactly on point. Why plan a refeed? And to the same extent, why are people planning deloads? The goal of the gym is to go and train harder than last time. If you can train harder than last time, you're making gains, you're not overly sore, continue to train harder than last time. To say, no, I need a deload, I need a week off. What? What plan is this? Who's coaching you? Mr. Mike?
Thank you, Greg.
As if Mr. Mike knows what he's doing. Mr. Mike is abusing performance-enhancing drugs, taking peptides, every drug in the world to make him less hungry. Perhaps it's the retatrutide or the tirzepatide, whatever. And he's on growth hormone, insulin. How many things is he actually on? If you're on enough drugs, yeah, things are different for you. You're gonna make gains no matter what. But if you're natural, you have to do things effectively, and more often than not, you need to train harder than last time. It's not the volume, hey, doing a bunch of bullshit sets that don't add up to nothing. It's how hard are you training? Now, if you wanna get your blood work taken, you want a doctor to go over it. Perhaps you do have some problem. Perhaps you need HRT. Perhaps you need enclomiphene. Perhaps Cialis, telmisartan, you name it. Get to Algorex. Remember, they're half price of Merrick Health on average. Everything is cheaper than last time. And so go check out the prices. Remember, these are pharmaceutical prescriptions by doctors. It's not some SARM's website where you just get nothing and you don't know if you can trust the source. This is legit. Enter code Greg for 10% off.
The guy was just feeling a little tired that day and he didn't really feel like it. He's like, yeah, I'll take a rest day. You know, same thing with the dieting. Oh man, I've been dieting hard. You know, maybe the guy's been in a deficit for 3 days. Yeah, I earned it, bro. I earned this refeed. Now let's go get crumble.
And I'm glad he said crumble. I see this all the time. It's like the Trend Twins. Oh, we're having a refeed. It's a refeed. It's this kind of calorie challenge. Is this? Why is this fitness content? How has eating crumble cookies become fitness content? It's anti-fitness. It's, hey guys, I'm not actually locked in. I don't have an actual good diet. And so I'm going to do this for a bit, over diet, be too strict. And then because of that, I'm going to need to eat a box of crumble cookies. This is moronic. It's asinine. It makes no sense. And speaking of what makes no sense, it's buying a Juga Turkistanica, aka Turk Builder, from anyone aside from HGLT supplements. In case you're new to the channel, sometimes people are living under a rock and they don't know about this, but HGLT Turkesterone has been vindicated. We actually have the real legit Ajuga from Uzbekistan. The other people, almost all selling copycat cyanosis plant, that's what it's called. And so if you want to actually make the gains from the product that actually works, you got to get it from HGLT supplements. Code Greg, 15% off.
But on one of the last days of the road trip, like right before we're about to get there, all right, yeah, let's get some McDonald's. You know, I haven't really eaten anything today. I get it. And as soon as we get to this cabin, I'm like, just, my stomach's turning.
It's funny how I'm the opposite. Like Sam, if he goes on a cheat and he eats like fast food and junk food and all that kind of stuff, his stomach is going crazy on him, probably using the washroom. I'm the opposite. If I cheat on a bunch of fruits and vegetables, extra salads, extra strawberries, too much fruit, I'm visiting the toilet like no other. And so Coach Greg has like a bizarre world metabolism, inverted upside down stomach, where the more health food that I eat above and beyond a certain minimum, I suppose, the worse it is for me. And so for me, I don't need more health food. I need more basic calories. Now, probably you're not like me, and so I wouldn't suggest you just add in a bunch of carbs and so on. But for me, adding in more fruit, more vegetables, more very healthy items, not really all that beneficial.
If I throw some junk in the mix, it is kind of going to gunk up my gears, if you sort of feel me.
And so, for example, you guys know that David bar with the EPG? Well, don't ask me to consume a few of those, because even though it's a diet, health kind of food, low in calories, if I eat 2 of those, you don't want to go to the bathroom after me, because, hey, it is a nightmare. Mepsigram can vouch for that. It's disgusting. And so I would suggest you don't have too many of the David bars. Perhaps leave it at 1 maximum, because EPG, it's not really meant for us. It's kind of like altered fat. It's low calorie, 0.7 calories per gram instead of 9. Instead of that, have the Seco bar. Why don't I just bring out my own and show what it looks like? And so if you want a better bar than the David bar, I would recommend the Kaiko bar. I think it's still half price if you use code CICO. And so please go check out the website. Remember, there's so many amazing things on the website. It's not just Turk, it's GO2 Max, it's G-Test Platinum. Get there, get Blue Lobstered, have a great time. And I'll see you there.
Let's start from the backside and then flip around.
As you can see, Sam is peeled. He's got plenty of time. In my opinion, he's ahead of the schedule. And so he doesn't really need to diet all that hard. And in the next video, he reveals his legs. Look at the cross striations on the quads. I mean, we're seeing the zippers going up and down. It looks like he's got a zipper coat on his quad. And so clearly, bro is only a few weeks out. If he were to diet harder than last time for probably 2 weeks, maybe 3 at most, he would be ready. And so that's what he means when he says he's ahead of schedule, which is the perfect situation, of which I said no. The perfect situation is being exactly on point. When you're 5 weeks out, you look 5 weeks out. When you're 3 weeks out, you look 3 weeks out. If you're ahead of schedule, hey, it's 5 weeks out, you look 2 weeks out. It's not good. It's not better. If it was better, every coach would just have you diet early. Like, think of it. If it was actually better to be ready early, you would be all be ready early. Why wouldn't you be? And so what's better is being on point.
Like the energy wasn't there, you know, and I'm not trying to whine.
And so Sam is saying, look, I didn't really have the best workout. Even though he was eating the extra calories, he just didn't feel that extra oomph. Now, this is what you need to know. When you're very, very lean, like 5%, like what Mike Israetel wishes he was, you're always gonna have no energy. I don't care if you had 5,000 calories, 5,000 grams of carbs, 20,000 calories. I don't care what you did. Every day sucks. I don't care what you ate pre-workout. You can have the best meal in the world. You're going to have no energy. And so when I dieted for professional bodybuilding competitions, once I get down below 6% body fat, there is no energy. I don't care if I have 3 cheat days in a row. I could eat 1,000 grams of carbs. I still don't feel good. I go to the gym and I feel like shit. I might look good. I might have a swole pump, but I don't feel good on the inside. Half the time the downstairs isn't working, even with Cialis, and it's because you're dieting too hard. Your body needs a certain amount of body fat in order to function properly. And so you can't just maintain 5% body fat by taking, for example, Ozempic or retatrutide or tirzepatide, all the different things. Remember, you can get certain peptides to help you lose fat from Algor-X. You can get GLP Max from Coach Greg at the website. But you can't just use these items and starve yourself and think, oh, as long as I have some carbs before sexy time, before the gym, that I'm going to be a hunky-dory. There's certain baseline body fat that your body needs. We're all within a certain set point. For me, it's probably somewhere between 7.5 and let's call it 15%. If I get below that, my performance fails. It doesn't matter my diet. Above that, well, I'm slower, I'm sluggish, I don't feel good.
But that's okay, because at the end of the day, guess what? The lift got done. I got a badass pump. I stimulated my tris and my bis to the point where as I keep getting leaner, I know they're not going to shrink down and they're going to maintain their mass.
And so Sam is basically saying, you know, you choose to diet, you choose to feel this way. And so if somebody's asking you how you feel, lie. Tell them, oh, I feel amazing. It's great. I wish everyone in the world could feel as good as I do right now. Meanwhile, you're suffering inside, your dick can't get hard, and all you're thinking about is when your next meal. I feel amazing. You're manifesting a reality that doesn't exist. I'm more like this. I'm not gonna lie. This sucks, but I chose it. I feel horrible today, but this is on me. Rather than lying, I think you should just be honest. I think you should be accurate and just be like, look, this sucks, but I chose this. I'm a bodybuilder. This is about the life of a bodybuilder. I get to suffer. I get to feel this bad. And imagine how good it's going to feel when it's all over. And I have the first place prize. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment the boozy album, like the video if you liked it, like me if you liked the view. Oh, and if you want HLT supplements in your stores or in your gyms, you can click the link there. I cannot wait to announce to the world the thousands of stores that we're in. It's going to be super exciting. Yeah, woo! And so you're going to be able to buy the Turk at an actual store, not have to just buy it online. And why do you think that is? Because, well, people now realize that ours is legit. That's why. Why do you think they're putting mine in the stores and not the others? You'll soon find out. And so until next time, I am out.